I used a fairly simplistic strategy to build out the platform. Firstly, daily data for a single stock was downloaded from Yahoo Finance. A buy signal was generated when the price fell below the lower Bollinger Band, and a corresponding sell signal generated when the price rose back up above the simple MA. And conversely, a short signal was generated when the price exceeded the upper BB, and a cover signal when the price fell back below the same simple MA. The daily and annual returns were then calculated, and the top right plot there shows the strategy, shows the candlestick stock prices, the Bollinger Bands, and then the lower subplot shows when the positions are just long here, when the positions are actually open. I then downloaded further data from Yahoo, set up a list of tickers to use as a portfolio of long positions, and coded a loop to generate the buy-sell signals, and then calculate the P&L for each position, and also the P&L for the overall portfolio. The next step was to connect with interactive brokers to download the stock data rather than downloading it from Yahoo. For this, I installed iBridgePy to serve as the bridge between the Python console and the interactive brokers interface. And with that installed, I then set up a paper trading account with interactive brokers, set up the required data subscriptions, and then reran the strategy to test the functionality. And I will say the EPAT lecture material from Dr. Liu, who is the author of iBridgePy, was very, very useful here. So once that was running successfully, I updated the strategy to loop through a portfolio of short positions as well as the long portfolio. And with all that running well, then prepared some simple analytics to evaluate the performance of the strategy and the portfolio. So what were the challenges that I faced while doing the project? I guess for me, the primary challenge was the lack of proficiency in Python. Although this project did drag me kicking and screaming up the learning curve, I found iBridgePy and interactive brokers quite fiddly at the start to get running, at least certainly relative to TradeStation, which is very robust. But once set up and once you know what you're doing, the iBridgePy and interactive brokers interface works like a dream. So how did I overcome the challenges? I guess for me, I mean, I've always been incredibly passionate about trading. And I think it takes unbridled perseverance. Certainly for me, as the learning curve, as I highlighted, was very steep, and at times immensely frustrating. The EPAT faculty were incredibly helpful when I was hitting dead ends, and also the iBridgePy have a good community as well, and have a very robust suite of online documentation, which was also key to successfully linking into the interactive brokers site. So thanks guys for your help and support. That's greatly appreciated. So what were the learnings for the project? That's a great question. For me, despite the rocky start, I've been programming extensively for the last year now. So this project gave me a very good start, and I now feel very, very confident working with Python and the various different tools within that ecosystem. So that's certainly a win for me and a very important skill that I've acquired. On a more personal note, given the challenging start, I think the journey's highlighted the importance of setting goals, staying focused, and playing the long game. And I think these were certainly very effective in helping overcome significant short-term barriers and frustrations that I went through at the start. So next steps, I guess it's been over a year now since I completed the project, and I've certainly been, as I mentioned, very, very busy and completed many of the planned post-project next steps. Initially, I focused on coding the TradeStation strategies into Python and used those to replace the Bollinger Band strategy I described for this project. Arguably, the most challenging aspect was replicating the suite of trade management features what could be achieved in TradeStation with 50 lines of code using their inbuilt trade management functions took well north of 1,000 lines of code in Python. So that was certainly good to get that coded and working. I then built a module to send orders to the interactive brokers trading desk. Then tested those using their paper trading account, which is great, by the way. And then once that was working well, the strategies were deployed live in the market, and thankfully they're continuing to perform well today. With that done, all in, it was probably well north of 1,500 lines of code just on one screen. So with that done, I began streamlining the code into functions so the primary program could be read on one screen. And certainly this was well worth the effort, as it made the code more robust, easier to manage, and then change and import and export between different strategies. I've then upgraded the code to use intraday data, and then loop through different portfolios for different time periods, and then combine the results to evaluate longer term performance. So as we begin to wrap up, building on the framework I developed as part of the project, I've now got a very powerful platform to evaluate the efficacy of different entry signals, trade management strategies applied to different portfolios on varying timeframes with extended data sets. And I'm looking back decades to test these various aspects, which of course is an invaluable part of understanding your edge and then getting comfortable with deploying before you deploy a strategy live into the marketplace. So current and near-term projects now include the integration of machine learning into the platform, the use of dynamic portfolios where the stocks available to trade are ranked real time, and varying entry and trade management signals with market conditions.